Hello. So, all the answers I got come from the book. So, for the first question, how do men and women differ in terms of how they interact in groups? I said that in online groups, women are use more exclamation points and they're friendly, and men use more like regular punctuation, like periods instead of exclamation points. And in groups, the influence men and women have is pretty much equal. And number two, how can gender, ethnicity, and culture impact communication in small groups? Um, One way is if you have someone who's English as a second language, um, to make sure they're included, the book mentions some ways is providing written information for them in advance before you have the discussion so they have a chance to read it. And then another one is you can ask someone in the group to take notes for the person. And then something else is viewing the differences as an asset to the group. And the last one they mention is matching tasks to members' abilities. For the third one, it says explain the differences between assigned and emergent groups and give example of each type. So assigned groups are groups that evolve out of a hierarchy where individuals are assigned membership to the group. So an example of that is when a teacher assigns a group project and gives each person a certain task. And then emergent groups are resulting from environmental conditions leading to the formation of a cohesive group of individuals. And an example of that is like your college friends, you pick them, and a lot of times it's like you meet them, right place, right time sort of thing. And the next one are what are observable characteristics of group culture? Provide at least two examples of observable diversity. So observable characteristics are like the jokes that the group has, their body language towards one another, their like norms for touching each other, and their overall behavior, how they interact with one another. And two examples of observable diversity is ethnicity and the sex of the person. So for the last question, like all of you, I've had both good and bad experience working in small groups. I think overall I enjoy it if everyone just does what they're supposed to do and equally shares the task. But then we've all had that experience where one person's just doing everything. So I think group projects can be really beneficial, but I think someone usually ends up carrying the load. So overall, I would probably rather work individually.